Mm-mm. My name is Wendy Pitkin and I'm here to interview Kay McInnes about her life on the islands. So, as we've heard from your husband, a lot of things, we might just skip to some questions I didn't ask him.
Okay.
So, what was life like on the island in those times when you arrived here?
Oh, much different to what it is now. You know, every time you drove down the street, you knew, people would wave to you and you knew everybody, especially on land, if only by sight. Like you didn't always know their full name, but you knew who they were and where they lived, basically. But it's changed a lot from that now.
Yeah,
It was a much smaller community.
So what do you feel you have contributed to the community?
Well, as far as, following my husband around, doing the things that he did, we both belonged to the Lamb Island Rural Fire Brigade, and Colin was a firefighter for quite a few years, and then I joined as well, and I became a volunteer community educator, so I had a lot to do with the community and, telling him what to do in case of fire and being prepared for storms and fires and all that sort of thing. And then I'm now actually a peer support officer. I've done my training, so I'm a peer support officer with the Fire Brigade, so that's another thing. Yeah, all right. Then after we lost our daughter, I was in a very dark place and I had to get out of it. So I basically took the spiritual path and I did a lot of meditation and stuff, mostly on the clay. I joined groups over there, and then I decided, and I wrote a book about my journey. Then I decided that, I could do things to help other people. So that's when we got involved with the Suicide Prevention Network. I went to a suicide bereavement support group, which was for Redlands, which is on the mainland. And the lady who was running that, she said, you could do one of these on the islands. And I said, oh no, I don't think I could do that. But I went to a conference in Sydney and they had a workshop about running a group. So I did this workshop and I came back and I said, yeah, I think I can do it. So I spoke to Angela and she said, oh, you can use the room at the op shop on Macleay. So I started a bereavement group for the people on the islands, which was for any sort of bereavement, which is still going to this day. It's changed venues a few times, 3 years I think it is. And so I was doing that, but then I was still going to the Redlands one, and I'm now running that one because the lady who ran that one, she's now gone to work in Cairns, and she said to me, well, you can have this one. But the Redlands one is for people on the island as well. There are some people from the island who go there. And I've just last week done a retreat for people bereaved by suicide, and there was 2 people from the island attending. So even though it's Redlands, it also includes the islands, which a lot of the Redlands stuff doesn't. So I've also got, going back a little bit, involved with Angela, and she said to me, can you come to can-do meetings? Oh no, I'm too busy. But eventually she said, oh, come on. So I went, and then Colin got involved as well. So I was working on the companion line for a little while, doing people on Lamb Island. And during COVID, we did a lot of, with both the Fire Brigade and the companion line, we did, contacting people and doing things to do with the companion line. So that was, I lost the train of thought. So, and then, the fashion parades and the other things that they did, we were sort of involved in a lot. But then COVID came and we were planning things and it just didn't happen. And, a couple of years gone by.
It did muck things up.
We both we both did our training with Wesley Life Force to run a suicide prevention workshop, which we have done. We've done one on the islands. We're doing another one on Lamb Island next month, and we're planning to do one here on Russell for the community. So that's another area. I was also involved with end of life stuff, and I did a kitchen table discussion here that they wanted to know what was available on the island for people who are terminally ill, what they needed, what they had, and all that sort of thing, which Palliative Care Queensland were the ones who wanted it. So I was involved in that a little bit, but I found that I couldn't do everything. So I sort of said, no, I can't do any more of that. They wanted me to do more stuff. They wanted us to run a group, but it was just taking up too much time, and I just wasn't able to do it all. So I said, no, I want to just concentrate on the suicide prevention and the bereavement and the fire brigade. So that's the two community things that we now sort of concentrate more on.
Okay. Have you enjoyed living here over the years?
Yeah. Yes, even though it does have its challenges at times. When I did, when my mum I was sort of basically going backwards and forwards to Redcliffe a lot in her last few years of life. And that was a bit difficult at times, but at least I was able to stay overnight up there instead of coming back late. So that was okay. So those sort of challenges. But I think because we had a hut on Moreton Island for quite a few years, and we were used to having to rely on ourselves and get what we needed, have it on hand, we were better prepared than a lot of people when they come to the islands. A lot of people come and they don't realise that you can't just get everything you need or do everything. You've got to sort of plan ahead.
You can't nip down to the shops and get it.
No. But the communities, like the small communities, has been good, and everybody looks after each other basically because you have to.
Yeah. Do you have any special memorable events on the islands that have impacted on you?
Oh. Oh, I don't know.
Birthdays, anniversaries.
No, not really. There's been a few things that we've done, like the fashion parade that we did with BICSI. That was a lot of fun. That was,
Yes, I know I did the one here.
Some of our friends were there, and they had a ball. So, and I was one of the stupid people that was in it doing stupid things.
The boat.
Yes, we had a boat for an Old Bay cruiser.
17 years.
For quite a few years, and we used to, when we first had it, we'd go around the bay and spend a night or two on the boat.
Gold Coast.
And that was something that was different, that was good.
Very
But
relaxing.
we were so busy, and especially, between the B&B and other things that we were doing, we were too busy to go out on it. So it became, we ended up selling it because it was just working on it. Every year you take it out of the water and paint it and whatever, and then you might use it once. So
Not getting to enjoy it.
We weren't enjoying it.
enough.
But in the early days that was good. But I just enjoy sitting on our deck and looking at the water. That's
Beautiful.
that's
why we build.
That's a thing. I also run a meditation group on Lamb Island once a month. So, there's sort of, we've been involved in little bits in a lot of different areas.
if you come to the islands, you've got to adapt to the islands.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you've got to prioritise what
That's
you want
right.
to do. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
So, but because it's a small community, you know, whatever's going, you get involved in, basically.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to thank you for coming along, and it's been really nice, and I've enjoyed all the stories.
There's probably a lot of stuff that we've done, but, you know, you can't remember everything.
That's right. So thank you very much.
Thank you.